Hello, this is my mid-year reading goal check-in and new goals for the second half of the year. As I've mentioned in other videos, I love a middle of the year goal check-in. Such good energy. Also, I'm coming off a pretty good reading month in June, so I'm just feeling good, just feeling good energy. So just an update on like some of the general goals, and then I will go into the books that I wanted to read for the first half of the year, and if I read them, I did. And then what I want to read for the end of the year, with also some stretch goals because I'm feeling ambitious. So first off, my overall goal for the year, which it always is read 52 books. I am so far ahead of that. I guess I've had some like really good reading months. And I'm currently at 49. So I think I'm gonna bump this up to like 70, 75, which is what I usually get to anyway. But I always tell myself 52 just in case I have like a bad start to the year or a bad reading year in general. I also mentioned in my goals video that I wanted to increase my reading overall and generally stop spending so much time on TikTok, especially the last couple of months. That has been true. I mean, honestly, most of the year I've been reading like a pretty decent amount. Like I've been averaging, I would say, about 8 books a month, which is good for me because the last couple of years have been like 4 to 6, which is still good, but like 8 is nice. And in the last couple of months, I've been using an app blocker, like not even on my phone, like another blocker that fully blocks things because the screen time blocker is not enough. And that blocks TikTok after 11:30 at night. So 11:30 until I go to bed, I'm usually reading. And I've been reading every single day for the most part. I track it in my bullet journal, and there's usually like maybe max 4 days a month that I'm not reading every day. I also mentioned using NetGalley less and reading romance less, which this has been definitely true, and honestly I think this is a big part of why I'm having a better reading year, which makes me kind of sad. But I mentioned in that video from the beginning of the year like why I thought that was. So I've barely used NetGalley. I think I've read like 2 books from NetGalley, and they were things that I requested last year, and I haven't really been reading romance at all. I think I've read 3 this year. In contrast, I said I wanted to read more sci-fi because the sci-fi that I read I tend to really enjoy, and I have read 8 sci-fi so far this year. 8 out of 49 isn't a ton, but I still feel like it's more than I've been reading the last couple of years. I also mentioned the Bibliothecary reading challenge. So that is 25 prompts with like a little bingo card that we are doing for the Bibliothecary, so that's an exclusive challenge. So I'm not gonna go into all the details, but I only have 7 prompts left of that. So some people that are in the Bibliothecary have talked about like doubling up and doing the challenge again for like the second half of the year. Some people aren't even close to finishing it. That's also fine. But again, I've just been reading a ton and reading like a lot of different variety of things. So yeah, if you wanna participate in the Bibliothecary reading challenge, it's not too late. If you're really like, man, I want a good second half of the year, come join us over there. And we like support each other on Discord or just on Patreon in general to have little updates, fill in the little cards, all that, super fun. So for the books that I intended on finishing this year, I wanted to finish the Daevabad trilogy, which I did do, and I actually read the full thing this year because I reread City of Brass. This was a wonderful experience, a 5-star series for me. I loved it. I have reviews talking about all the books. Then I wanted to finish up the Gilded Wolves series, and I did that. I read the Bronze Beasts. I believe this was a 4.5 star, about 4 and 4.5 star series for me. Still really enjoyed that. It's such an underrated series. Read this, more people. And then I wanted to finish up the All the Stars and Teeth duology with All the Threads of Fate? Tides of Fate. It's a seafaring book. And I did do this. This was just because like I had it on my shelf. It was a duology. I liked the first one well enough. This does not stick out in my brain though, but I did finish it. So for the second half of the year, I'm very torn because part of me wants to be like so ambitious, but part of me also knows that like the second half of the year is always so tangled up in themes of things. Like usually in September or October I want to read spooky books, and then like right now I'm currently doing my Hugo's award challenge thing, which is only gonna last until like middle of August, but still I will talk about that. I also have a video about that already. So I'm a little torn, but there's a couple things that I already like planned on reading and things that overlap. Here's what I'm thinking. So first off, I want to finish the Poppy War series. So I want to finish with The Burning God. I just read The Dragon Republic in May, so it's all fresh. I reread the Poppy War earlier in the year. I want to continue and finish this. I guarantee that I will do this. Then I want to read the final book in the Wayfarer series, which is The Galaxy and the Ground Within. This also doubles up because this is also one of the Hugo nominees. So again, I know I'm going to do this. Pretty positive about it, but then I'll be finished with both of those series. We love finishing a series. Then I want to get farther with a series, but I'm not sure if I'm going to totally finish, and that is the Stray Shifter series by Rachel Vincent. I am saying I want to read books 4 and 5. There's 6 books in the series though, and part of me is like, are you really going to leave 1 book? But I just don't know if I'm going to want to read all 3 books. I don't tend to like to read these back to back because they can get just a little bit like repetitive, bogged down. I don't know. I liked book 3 more than book 2, but book 2 left such a bad taste in my mouth that like years later I'm still like, ugh, even though I like loved book 1. So yeah, I don't know if I can read that much of it, but I'm pretty sure I can read at least solidly 2 of them. I'm really torn though, because I do want to read more of a number of series. I will be continuing to read the Anita Blake series. This is not a goal I'm setting, I just know I'm going to do it. I want to read more of the Kate Daniels series, but I kind of don't want to keep continuing with these other series when I have some of these that are like so close to being done. And by some of these, I only need the Shifter series because that's one of the shortest ones that I'm currently reading. So I will definitely be reading some of the Shifter series for Shift-a-thon, which will be happening in like September. Maybe I could read another one in October, but they're not really spooky. I don't know. It feels weird that I'm only reading 2 out of the 3 that I would need to finish, but I don't necessarily want to force myself or like set the unrealistic goal of reading all 3. Yeah, I need to read Prey and Shift, which are books 4 and 5. We'll see if I read all 3. Then I want to fully catch up on the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. I am reading Across the Green Grass Fields for the Hugo nominees, so again, that's definitely gonna happen. And then the most recent one, Where the Drowned Girls Go, I also own. So I can do that. They're novellas, they're so short, but I'm very happy to be back in this world. Speaking of short things, I also sort of want to set a goal of like getting back in my graphic novel game. I'm thinking, I didn't write this down, but I'm doing this on a whim. I'm thinking in October, again, spooky season, that I will continue to read the Monstrous graphic novels. I want to catch up on the Monstrous graphic novels. Yeah, I do. And these are short, I can do that. Part of me is still like, what even happened in these though? But I just reread these, I want to say it was earlier in this, was it earlier this year or was it last year? Maybe it was last year. But I want to keep going with these, damn it. I'm so behind on like all of my graphic novel series. So I think I can commit to this for a spooky season thing. Remember that. Then finally, a thing that I'm already doing, but I did want to mention, I am reading all the Hugo Award nominees for the novellas and the novels, but that will be done by middle of August. But that's like, still like 12 books, maybe more. But some of them I've already read. So yeah, that's also happening. Then I have some stretch goals. And again, like by the time we finish with the Hugo stuff, it's already August. I have like a little bit of August and I have September. We're gearing up for spooky books and like some of these aren't spooky, so they're not gonna fall in that category. I don't know, I'm a little nervous, but I did say like, again, some series. I love just chipping away at my series. So this is a more ambitious chipping. I want to read the entire Inheritance trilogy. This is it. This is it in its entirety. The first book, which is this, I'm gonna be reading for House Salt Book Club. This is our August pick. So that's for sure happening in August, right? And then I have 2 more. So let's say it's like about here, right? These are shorter, like they're not super long. Like the first book is 374 pages. I think it's doable. I would just really love to read this whole thing. And I've already said that in like a series I want to start and like complete this year video. So this is what I want. I don't know, but this is what I want to do. And then I will only have The City We Became like duology to read by her, then I'll have read all of her novels, which is very exciting. The one that I think I also put on my last year reading goals at some point, maybe, I don't know, but I think I need to do it. I feel like this would take then a whole month. Realistically, it shouldn't, because at this point, I'm reading about 1,000 pages. Do you see where this is going? About 1,000 pages, 2 weeks? Because if I'm currently reading like 300 page to 400 to 500 page books, like 1 a week, I don't know the math on all of this. It really depends on how fast I would read this. Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Yes, I have the UK editions that are broken up because it feels less intimidating, but I read them all at once. I need to continue with this series. Part of me is like, should you reread Way of Kings? I don't think so, because that'll make me not want to read it even more. And who has time to read 1,000-page books all the time? I certainly don't, because I have other books that I want to read. I can read 3 books in the amount of time it takes me to read one of these. But I do want to at least read like 1 a year of Stormlight. So I think I need to do this. And I don't want to forget a lot of Way of Kings. I'm gonna do like a recap. So there's so much stuff online about it, obviously. So I'm gonna do a little recap action. I remember a lot of like main points and then get into this. When? I don't know. I almost feel like I need to write it on my calendar. Realistically, I could read this in either August or like November. Then I'm like traveling. Oh, but I could read this. I am traveling overseas, October to November, like around that time. If I just have this on the plane for like 8 hours, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, something like that. I feel like I need to write this one in though almost. They're stretch goals though. If I don't hit these, I'm not gonna feel like a failure. This one I've had on my TBR for a little while though, so maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know. Wish me luck. So those are my goals for the second half of 2022. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. Like I said, it's been a good reading year so far. Great, in fact. So comment below, let me know what your reading goals are for the rest of the year, what books you're trying to get read before the end of the year. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all you guys soon. Bye.